So you can experience the sensation that we call physically tired, right? When you're expending energy, creating space. Right? We feel exhausted, though, when we're holding back our ability to create space, right? It's the holding back that exhausts us. The expression of, yeah, it can get tiring at times because we're in this three-dimensional, physicalized, biological existence that requires certain things, right, to keep our engine running. And that's tired. But holding back that innate power is what is exhausting. And it's fun and funny, at least I think so, to be able to share it with you. But I hate to break it to everybody. You're here to do two things innately, right? What we're talking about is changing our perspective of the agreement of those two things. One is that you're here to create space, period, right? And then the one that's a little bit more obscure or maybe a bit more esoteric, I think, just because it's not talked about. Not only are you here to create space, but you're here to take up the space you create. And at best, most of the time, what we're taught to do is that if we do create space and we happen to venture into that forbidden territory, that the best we're allowed to do with the space we create is let other people take it up. We're kind of challenging that whole idea head on, because really the place of the most personal power and freedom is to be consciously in alignment with your innate drive and ability to create space and to step into the space you create. That doesn't mean you can't invite others into it, but you step into it first. Why? Because it's yours. Why? Because you created it. Why? Because that sets the tone and models the example for others to then realize that when they step into any space that you create, they can also create space in alignment with the space that you create. And then you can step into that with them. And so goes the synchronicity, so goes the interdependence, so goes the sustainability, right? Because if we're both always consistently stepping into creating space and then stepping into it and feeling confident that we can create space and then step into that space, it becomes effortless to invite others in. It also becomes effortless to invite others in who are then going to do the same with the tone that you set. They'll step in, create space, step into their own space that they create, and then invite you into it. And the benefit of that is it gets really easy to identify when people aren't doing that. And then you don't have to escape those people. You just keep creating space for yourself and stepping into it. And if they don't come into alignment with you, they will fall away because they literally can't keep up with the pace. And if they're really obstinate and stubborn and aggressive about insisting that you contract your ability to create space so that they can take up the space that you create without co-creating their own and inviting you into that, then you just disengage them and go create space somewhere else. And most of the time they won't follow you because it's too funny that this is the word that I want to use there, but it's the process that you're involved in is too whole, right? And the image that comes to mind, it's hilarious and ridiculous, but it'll make sense. In order for people to take space from you that you've created, they have to hook into you in a way and pull that energy out of you. When you are in your integrity of creating space and stepping into the space that you create, you kind of become like a bowling ball slathered in olive oil. There's nothing for them to hook onto. There's no place for them to grab a hold and to like impinge upon your space. And it's so daunting for them because they want easy targets that they just kind of like keep sliding off and then give up.